Social media is like a drug. Now let me explain what I mean by that. So, you know how when you say you do, I don't know, cocaine, marijuana, MDMA, you sort of get this super high, but then you get this drop off. So let's say your baseline is at 0. Every time you're sort of on your social media, on Instagram, on YouTube, watching funny content, things that are sort of stimulating you, that pushes you at like a 1 and a 2 because you're sort of feeling good. But what you don't realize is the moment you sort of turn it off, now you then drop down to a -1, -2. And when you're at -1 or 2, you're forced to continue stuck on Instagram, YouTube, going through a newsfeed, going through the recommended page to sort of get yourself back to 0 because -2 sucks. And that's sort of what happens when people get into drug addictions. They're sort of constantly at a negative and they're constantly having to take that drug to bring them just back to baseline so they can just feel at 0.
Listen, y'all know me. I love and I hate social media. You know what I'm saying? Like,
now what I'm learning is that, let's say I had a long day of work, I'm exhausted, I'm at like a -10 because all my dopamine, all my emotions, all my feelings are just fried because I've just been on so many meetings, I filmed so much content, and I'm just depleted. Now at -5, I'm just stuck on my phone like a robot just to feel normal because -5 hurts. When I get like a good night's rest of sleep, that'll bring me back to maybe a -3. But I'm still pretty shitty. I feel pretty tired the next morning. That's sort of why you feel tired after you sort of have a long day of work. And if I go back to work, I'm gonna go back to a -5 or -5.5. Sleep for 8 hours. That brings me back to a -3.5. Then work or bring that -6, and you sort of see how you're inching. You sort of go up, down, but on a downward trend. And that's sort of like the best metaphor is like, imagine you're working out every single day and you don't give yourself a rest day. So when your muscles are tired and sore, you're still working out the next day. You can see how your performance would be on a downward trend. So similarly, the solution is to take rest days. Or what I do is I take days where I sleep 12 hours. Yesterday I slept like 10, 11 hours. But yesterday I woke up still a bit exhausted, a bit groggy, a bit deflated because, you know, I brought myself from like a -5 because I've just been on this downward trend to maybe a -2. So I still felt like, huh. So I had to, and I did some work and then I was productive and that brought me down to a -3. But still better than a -5, which is how I ended up the previous day. So today I slept a lot and then I feel much, much better. So I'm sort of, when you sleep like 10 hours, 12 hours, you're sort of going on an upward trend. But even though you wake up with a lot of energy, you spend it all because you then do work, then you sleep a lot and you sort of go on an upward trend. My goal is always to get to baseline when I work, when I go on social media, when I sort of socialize a lot. That sort of gives me the initial high, but then I get depleted and I go into a negative zone. And I want to get back, I need to get a lot of sleep. And knowing that, now it's like, now I sort of know where my sort of levels are and I'm able to calibrate and I'm always self-aware of where I'm at and I know what to do. When I'm feeling something, I'm like, okay, I need to get more sleep tonight. Oh, I need to like do a hard stop at 4 p.m. and just try to go to bed as soon as possible.
Whatever's going on here, stop it immediately.
That's sort of how you sort of maintain and control and recover and sort of deal with your energy and emotional levels. And this is something I don't really see anyone talk about. Hopefully this video about energy management, energy control, and managing your emotions sort of helped and brought light to you guys. And yeah, hope you guys have an amazing day. I'll see you guys tomorrow with nothing but more value. Peace.